A lot of people hear the word burnout and assume that it's the same thing as stress. You're likely all familiar with some of the symptoms associated with stress, such as irritability, increased heart rate, forgetfulness, etc. Stress can crop up in multiple places in our lives, with work, home life, relationships, and education being just some examples. However, the International Classification of Diseases describes burnout as a syndrome conceptualized as resulting from chronic workplace stress that has not been successfully managed. Burnout is the extreme detachment and disinterest that follows a period of improperly tackled stress. With words like detachment, disinterest, and disengagement being commonly associated with burnout, you might already be able to recognize the potential impact that this condition can have on work ethic. According to research by Lee, published in 2021, someone suffering the effects of burnout is more likely to initiate interpersonal conflicts at work, be hostile towards others, and exhibit a lack of concern, because their extreme fatigue and exhaustion has inhibited their abilities to be considerate of others and to regulate their overwhelming emotions. You can imagine how all of this might impact on the working environment or sense of morale within a team. This is to say nothing of the negative drain on productivity, both for the burnt-out individual and their peers. In this way, work ethic problems related to burnout tend to grow and affect many more people than you might at first expect. As you heard at the beginning of this video, burnout is actually the result of stress that hasn't been properly taken care of. Ideally, then, the best cure for burnout is prevention, tackling stress before it can grow into something more malicious. So, what does proper stress care look like? Prioritizing the things that you can control is one of the best quick-fire exercises in stress resolution. Break down your workload, or whatever issue it is that is causing you stress, into manageable chunks and tackle each at a time while focusing on the task at hand and nothing else. Coupling this kind of solution with a mindfulness strategy, breathing exercises, and the usual suite of self-care practices, sleeping and eating well, exercising, avoiding excessive alcohol and smoking, etc., is a great starting point when attempting to reduce stress. Dr. Monique Valcourt identifies 3 components of burnout: exhaustion, cynicism, and inefficacy. Burnout begins with physical and mental exhaustion, the result of improperly managed stress, before growing into disassociation from work and colleagues, and ultimately hugely disrupting productivity. In this sense, burnout's impact on health and work ethic is self-evident. Burnt-out workers are more or less incapable of having strong morale, which brings their work ethic to an all-time low. As well as this, the health concerns associated with burnout are twofold. There are the consequences of burnout itself to think about, but also the long-term effects of stress which have already been endured. Above all else, though, the best defense against future burnout is to identify the root cause or causes. One great resource to consider using is the Maslach Burnout Inventory. This is a psychological test devised to assess the individual experience of burnout. As you explore these topics further through this infographic, you will have an opportunity to develop your own burnout strategy. You have now concluded the second component of the expert-level infographic on work ethic. We hope that you found some of the information here useful and invite you to try using some of the techniques described in your day-to-day life.